there's the easy bit over, forming the parts. The blueprint is Tower 3 Sabotage, the helmet is Tower 2 Sabotage, the chassis is Tower 4 Defense Rotation C, which is every 20 waves, and Vauban Prime Systems is Tower 3 Survival every 20 minutes. That's 20 waves, that's 20 minutes. Biggie here is in total each part needs 5 Niton extract each. And this is a problem because it only drops in alerts one at a time. And 20 Niton extract is not going to be easy to get. Finally managed to get another Argon crystal, so there it is. And, something seems to be a bit wrong with him. Fixed. I was actually playing it. That was the phased skin. It's on Steam, and it's actually, I think it was from a holiday badge back in 2013 or 14 or something. You can use it on the normal one. It does also work on the Prime. I was playing with them a bit earlier, but I haven't used them yet. Now, he does come with 25 extra shield and double the armor than he had before, but it looks like somebody took a Toblerone, and I'll put an image of what that is on the screen, just in case you don't know what one is. It looks like they took one and kind of smacked him in the crotch with it, and it kind of stuck there. There are so many jokes about this, we're just going to move on. He does come with a dash for the aura. This was locked, I accidentally unlocked it. He comes with a V, a dash, and a D. I mean, there is that whole passive that I don't know which ability it is or how it'll be activated, but he'll buff nearby allies' armor, but it's unknown when this will actually come. So I thought it would have came with this, but apparently it didn't. The whole Vauban rework has replaced bounce with an ability called Mine Layer. And that works kind of the same as, is it Ivara? I cannot remember. Where you've got 4 different abilities and you've got to scroll through. You tap it once to scroll through and then you hold it to actually cast the ability. And I have found myself a lot of times scrolling past the ability I want to use, or straight up just using different abilities because it can be quite a pain. The first one's Bounce, which is the original ability, which is a lot of fun to actually use. And now it adds a... it's a magnetic proc that it does to them. But it's a weird one, because reading through it, the pad will deal blast damage and magnetic damage. Magnetic damage is good for taking off shields though. So bounce is actually still pretty useful. The second part of that whole Mind Slayer thing, is the trip laser, which is great. Because unfortunately it's not affected by power range, which would have been nice to increase the width of it. Because I have thrown it in a few corridors and they've just gone around it, and it's like, well, what the hell was the point in that? Of course, the reason it's not affected is you can connect a few together. But it's great watching them run over this, because running enemies will be tripped over, walking enemies will just kind of be stunned. But it's great for hordes of enemy coming after you, and it was extremely useful in the tower defences, because they're running at you in the corridor straight towards you, and you can take them out. Well, you don't take them out, you knock them over, because they're running at you, and those that are walking do get stunned, so it slows them down quite a bit. The next one, of course, being Shred, was also kind of fun to use, because you'd throw it on the floor, when an enemy runs over it, it would explode. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do that much damage to the enemies. I kind of wish it would have an explosive proc to it, but at the same time it kind of does, because it throws them into the air, and it's a great ability to knock enemies over or just send them flying in the wrong direction. But the great addition to this has got to be Concuss. It's basically like a radial blind type thing. It stuns them for a second or two, but it also adds the radiation proc, which means they'll start to attack each other. But it would have been nice if while stunned you could perform a finisher on them. I've seen it work once, but I'm not sure if it was because they were stunned or because they just spawned in and they weren't quite alerted to the fact that there's people there yet. Bastille is still exactly the same as it was. It's affected by power range, power duration. Power strength determines how many enemies it'll pick up. And apparently it'll also affect the contact damage, which is weird because I didn't know it had one of those. The augment for Bastille is amazing though, because it's once it's picked up the max number of enemies, because without any mods in there, Bastille will pick up 12 enemies. Anyone after that would just be unaffected by it. Repelling Bastille is supposed to bounce them off. Vortex is still pretty much the same as it was, and that's also kind of a weird one, because I was looking at the thing for this and I never knew Vortex did magnetic damage. Sometimes it does pay to actually go back and pay a little bit more attention to some frames, so Vortex is still pretty useful, but considering how many different things deal magnetic on this guy, kind of makes him a corpus killer. They'll never take that from Mag unless Mag's coming rework, or past rework if you're watching this in the future. That could ruin Mag and kind of give Vauban a chance to sneak in there. And of course I mentioned what most of the abilities are affected by, because I'm not going to mention what build to put on him, or build I'm running on him I should say, because honestly it makes no difference. Everybody runs such a different setup on him. There's the augmented setup, there is setting up for just duration, there is setting up for duration and range, there is setting up for power strength, which to be honest isn't really that effective on this guy. It'll work, but duration and range are better to set him up for, because the bigger Bastille is, the better, especially for defense missions. And Vortex is the same thing. The bigger duration means it'll obviously last longer. The bigger range is what I meant, means it'll suck enemies in from a longer distance. So it just determines how you're playing, what you're playing as. Is you've got the ABC tab, and trust me, I'll probably have a different build on each one for him eventually. I've only formatted him twice so far. It looks like I may have to go for a third, which is weird considering he comes with 3 polarities already on him.